For 90 days, I decided to play chess every day to see how good I could get. This was inspired by one of my friends who's really into chess. He's actually the same friend that got me into tennis. For the past couple years, he's been playing a lot of chess every day, and every once in a while, he'll request I play a game with him, which ends up just ending very early with me losing in a ridiculous way, because I know pretty much nothing about chess. I've never really been interested in getting much better, but it seemed like a fun challenge, so I signed up for a Lichess account. Lichess is a website where you can play with random people and also do puzzles and learn chess basics, and I started playing chess. I chose the time category Rapid, which means each player has a significant amount of time, not like indefinite time. The time I started playing was I got 15 minutes, and every time I made a move, I'd get an increment of, I think it was 10 seconds. The way Lichess works is it pairs you against other people that are around your level, and it uses an ELO rating to do that. Essentially what an ELO rating is monitoring metric of how good you are at chess. And as you improve, your ELO will go up, and they'll pair you with other people around your ELO level, so you should be losing about 50% of the games. And as you win more than 50%, your ELO will increase until you're paired with people at that level, and it stabilizes again. At the very beginning though, Lichess has no idea how good you are, so they give you a tentative rating of 1500, which is way better than I was. So I spent the first several days getting slaughtered until my ELO rating tanked down to around 900, where it settled, and that's where I was. So for reference, what 900 means, for me at least, was I was giving up pieces for free, which is called hanging pieces, where you essentially move a piece to where it can be attacked and it's not defended. So I would just hang all my pieces. I would move my knight to a square that was attacked by something, and I would lose it, and I'd see it go off the board, and I'd be like, ah, didn't see that coming. Let's move this guy up. All right, we're doing some things. Oh, well, I didn't think about that. That was a blunder, because now I can't take. Dang it. Stupid. All right, that's okay. That's okay, guys. Let's, oh man, that was silly. He's gonna take, yeah. Oh, that was foolish. Foolish of me. And this continued for a little bit of me just randomly losing my pieces because I didn't have a good vision of the board or what pieces were attacking what. I understood the basic rules of where to move pieces and how you can move pieces, and Lichess makes this even easier for you because when you click on a piece, it tells you where you can and can't move. But outside of that, I had no idea what I was doing. To remedy this, my friend started giving me weekly lessons at chess.
There's a few different ways to go about this, but if you're playing with white, then you should have like maybe 3 objectives. So like the first objective should be to control the center. So you want pawns in the center, you want to control a lot of these central squares. I think I can highlight. So like if you can control these central squares, it restricts your opponent and it gives you more space to operate. Mm-hmm. The second objective will be to get all of the pieces out and in good squares where they can actually affect the board. And then the third objective is probably just a castle. Just king safety, and that way you don't have to worry about it.
If black ends up developing in this way, like either leaving a bishop or a knight inside, you can oftentimes do this early and attack this square. And usually black's only move is like this move. So like with this move, if you take with bishop, I can do something like that.
Right.
And if you take with pawn, then I'm safe for now, right?
Yeah.
So I could even like kick your knight back and go from there.
Right. And he gave me some ideas of what I should do with my time. So he told me that I should spend most of my time just playing games, but after a game, I should go in and analyze the game, because Lichess gives you an analysis of like what moves you should have made and where you blundered. A blunder is a big mistake. So where you messed up in the game. And he also told me to start doing puzzles. Puzzles are essentially just a board with pieces in a set position, and you have to find the best move or the best set of moves that leads to a winning position, or winning the game, or winning pieces. At first, I was really bad at these puzzles because I would just play the move that I saw that looked good. So I could move my knight here to c3, and that would be attacking his knight, getting my knight out of the way. He would attack, then I would take with my pawn, so I'd have more control of the board. I think there's a good move I'm just not seeing. Should we put him in check? See what happens. Nope, wrong move. Was it the knight move? Nope, wasn't that either. Dang it! About halfway through the month, my friend gave me some really helpful advice that helped both my chess in general and my puzzles. He told me to slow down, especially in critical areas, which is the whole area for a puzzle, but in games it's when you're going into trading pieces or you're going into a critical position where the next move makes a big difference. So I took his advice. I started slowing down, and immediately my puzzle rating went up because I started not making the move unless I knew exactly why I was making that move. And I still messed up, but much less frequently. Here's an example of my logic before and after this change. For example, in this position, my first thought would be, okay, let's just put him in check right here, because that seems like a good idea, right? So if you make that move, it'll say, nope, you failed the puzzle. And once I started thinking a little bit more, I would look at this move and say, okay, we can put him in check, but what does that accomplish? And very quickly you can see it accomplishes nothing. He can just move his king or move a pawn to defend it. So instead, let's look for a better move. An example here would be, okay, if we put him in check on this square, on f5, instead of e4, then we're putting him in check and he has to defend against check, but we're also attacking this rook, which is called a fork. So we go here, he defends, and we get a rook. So that's an example of just thinking through things a little bit more. My puzzle rating continued to improve, and my ability to think more critically in games also improved because I was slowing down. I was starting to think, okay, if I move this knight to this square, what happens? Instead of just moving blindly. And I stopped hanging pieces quite as frequently. This is around the point when I realized chess is actually a very tactical game. And in order to be really good at chess, you really have to think a couple moves ahead. To get better at my rating though, all I really had to do was make sure I thought one move ahead and didn't hang any pieces. And as I did that, my elo started improving. I'm super excited right now. I just won my first game where I actually had a plan. So this is my second game I've won. But the last game I just kind of happened to win. It got to the end and I was up more pieces. But this game, there was an actual plan. I was down by 8 points and I thought of a way to bait him and I won. Woo! So turns out I'm doing the analysis and it was some bad moves on my part that actually got me the win. So right here, when I went for it, it was fine. Everything up to here is fine. But he shouldn't have taken my bishop because the right move to play here would have been knight to a4, and that means I get a free either rook or queen out of it because I'm forking the rook and queen. What I played instead was a losing move. So I played here, played there, and I played this, which had me losing the game because he didn't have to take. The only way that I would win from this is if he took my queen with his rook, and then I win the game. Fortunately, he did take, but I shouldn't get so caught up in my plans that I don't see their way out, because had I gone there, he could have just played this, and from there he's got a rook out of it, so I have to move one of these. Yeah. So the best move is still to do this. He takes, and then the queen is free for him. So yeah, a little bummed that my tactic wasn't actually a great tactic. It would have been much better had I played that to try and fork the queen and rook like I was supposed to here. But it worked, and I will learn from this and keep getting better. I'm definitely getting better at chess. I'm also realizing, however, that chess is a pretty hard game, and in 90 days, I might not see as big of a change as I thought, especially in my ELO rating. ELO takes a while to climb, but I want to keep improving, and for the next 60 days, I'll keep playing and hopefully get better at visualizing the board and understanding more tactics.